Everyone, I'm going to take a look at the new Player of the Week selection we got this week on eFootball. As always, I'll put timestamps in the description for each player, so if there's a specific player you want to look at, just click the link in the description, you can go straight to him. But let's have a look at who we got. We've got 3 4-stars this week, so they're really spoiling us. Start with Doughty from Luton. So with this guy, he could be useful for you, but only if he is a perfect fit for the way you play. If you like playing with old school wingers, you like having a left footer on the left wing putting crosses in, then he could be useful for you. He's got very good pace. You see there, 91 speed and acceleration. Dribbling's okay. Lofted past that, 84. So combine it with his pinpoint crossing skill, he's got a good cross on him. He's also got through passing, which makes up for his low pass not being too high. Some defensive skills as well. So you could play him as a fullback, but I don't think he's strong enough. I don't think you can get away with him as a left back. Maybe as a wing back, but yeah, with the pace, the dribbling, and the crossing, as an out-and-out old-school left winger, especially with the cross-specialist play style, he could be decent for you. But beyond that, you look at the other attributes, a bit on the low side, not the strongest. I think he just comes up a bit short otherwise. Then we have Akliouche from Monaco. He had a good game. So we have a whole player. We've got a few whole players this week. Whole player, attack midfielder. Technically, he's actually pretty strong for a 4-star. You see the awareness is good. He's very good on the ball. That low pass is fantastic at 90, but physically he's lacking. He's not the quickest. He's pretty weak. His balance isn't particularly great, and his stamina's not great. So he's a bit lacking physically. That's why he's only a 4-star. He's got some decent skills here. He's quite good on the ball, first time shot, one-touch pass and through passing are key. So he does have good skills, especially with 90 low pass. So he could be a very effective player, to be honest, but it's just a question of the physicals. If you don't mind him being a bit slow and a bit weak, then he could be a really useful player for you. But otherwise, those things will be noticeable with this guy, and that's why he's only a 4-star. So he's not strong in all areas, but he does have some qualities. He could be decent for some people. And then the last 4-star, we have Østigård. So in most ways, this is actually a pretty strong centre-back. You look at the defensives, 84 is alright, 87, 90 great. 81 for defensive engagement. That's the one attribute that really lets him down a bit. It's not disastrously low, but it's just it's not quite as high as you'd want it to be for a centre back. He is only a 4-star, and that's probably one of the main reasons why. Pace is okay. Physically and aerially, he's very strong. You see 88, 91 here, and then 85 for heading. He's very strong in the air and strong in the tackle, especially with aerial superiority and heading. So he's good in the air. But the other real weakness with this guy, apart from the engagement being a bit low, you'll notice there's no interception, no blocker. Those two skills for a centre-back are so important, especially interception. So, yeah, it's got a lot of strengths, but lacking those skills, and with that engagement being a bit low for me, unless you're a Napoli fan and you want him for your Napoli squad, I don't think this guy quite makes the grade. Then we have Correa. So, Correa's been in before, but this time he is a goal poacher. That's all they've really changed. The only other change they've made is they give him heading. So not the most useful skill for a guy who's 171 centimeters tall, because he's not going to be winning many headers. But if he does get a free header in the box, that does at least mean his headers will be a bit more accurate. He's good on the ball there. Long range curler, first time shot. Through passing is a nice bonus for a striker if you play him as a striker, and super sub as well. Always a very handy one to have. He's much like most versions of Correa, to be honest, but I think ultimately when you look at his passing, he's not got great passing or crossing, even with the through passing skill. I don't think you're going to be using him as a wide right player. I think really you're looking at playing him through the middle, either an SS or a striker. The version that I've got of Correa is a whole player, and I like to play him as an SS. I think he's really effective there. But using this guy, I think to his strengths with the goal poacher playing style, he's probably at his best as a nimble little goal poacher centre forward. He's got pretty decent awareness. For a striker, he's very good on the ball. For a striker, again, passing becomes decent when you're playing him up front. Finishing is excellent at 88. He's got good pace, good balance, stamina's decent for a striker. Yeah, I think you want to get the best out of this player. He's a very nimble, nifty little centre forward. It's a good card, that. And then we have Di Maria. So Di Maria is one of these players who Some people really like him, but I know some people aren't so keen on him. I think he's either your cup of tea or he's not. I'm a fan personally, so I'll be pretty happy if I get this card. For me, I've got a feature version where my version's got more pace, he's got more balance, better stamina, but this guy's just a bit better technically. So I think with this card, he's probably best through the middle rather than out wide. I like playing mine out wide, but this one looks like he's probably best as an attacking midfielder or maybe as an SS as well because he's very versatile. He can play all over. You can certainly still do a job out wide though, but keep an eye on that stamina especially. But yeah, on the ball, you see there he's brilliant on the ball. That dribbling, very good passing and crossing. You take a look at his skill set, pinpoint crossing there. He's got a great cross on him. Through passing, doesn't have one touch pass, which is a shame, but you can get by without that for sure. First time shot, I think they may have just added that to him. I think that might be the skill they've given him. So that's a useful one, first time shot, depending where you play him. But he's in most of these positions, that is a useful skill to have. But I think the skill they've removed to give him that is heel trick, which is a bit of a shame because that's a nice little skill to have for attacking players. But yeah, first time shot's a good skill. So yeah, I think it's a pretty good card. He's not going to be everyone's cup of tea. Keep an eye on that stamina, like I say, because that is low. He is 35 years old, to be fair to him, but yeah, I think he's best through the middle. He's very good technically. He's got end product. He's a very good card for me. And then we have José Sá. Again, we've had him in Player of the Week before. I think it's the third time. Is it the third time possibly we've had him? So, yeah. To be honest, this is one of the better goalkeepers we've had in Player of the Week because he's really solid. You look at the key attributes for a keeper, there's no real weakness there. Usually with keepers, you get one or two that are a bit on the low side. Maybe it's below 80, but 86, 84, 84, 87, 87. He's a really strong goalkeeper, actually. The jumping could be a bit higher. That's the one attribute where you're going to think, is that a bit low? But he's almost 6'4", so he's quite tall. I don't think that jumping will make too much of a difference. And like I say, with these attributes down the middle, he might not be an elite goalkeeper, but he's a pretty strong one. I'd be pretty happy if I get this guy, to be honest. I think it's a decent goalkeeper card. And then we have Ollie Watkins. So with Ollie Watkins, the first thing to note is they've given him first time shot and one touch pass, which is great. Especially first time shot is very important for a striker. Long range shooting as well, which is nice. He's got aerial superiority, so that will make him even better in the air. And he's already got 86 for jump and 81 heading, so very good at winning headers. His heading looks decent, but he doesn't have the heading skill. So you've got to be careful with his headers to try and keep his headers down and keep them on target. He doesn't have acrobatic finishing either, so in some ways he's going to be good from crosses, in other ways not so great. Physical contact isn't so great. Balance, again, not so great. On the ball, not so great. And attacking awareness, only 81. I would like it to be higher. He does have great finishing. He does have good pace. He's got good stamina for a striker. He's got some strengths, this guy, and they've given him some important skills, but I just feel like in some areas he just comes up a bit short. You know, the awareness, not so great on the ball, and that contact and balance, I just feel like at least one of those could be a bit higher. So in some ways good, in other ways not so great. I think on the whole he doesn't quite make the grade for me. So unless you're a Villa fan, I feel like he's probably not going to quite do the business for you. And then we have Oyarzabal. So I like this guy. I've got a version of him already. There's not a lot of difference in the attributes, to be honest, between this one and the one that I've got, and that I think there've been two featured ones that but pretty much the same. But the one key change they've made to this guy, he's a whole player. And not only whole player, there's actually another change that I almost forgot. He's a super sub now as well. So this for me is a really useful card. So in addition to giving him super sub, he's already got one touch pass, through passing, pinpoint crossing, long range shooting. He's already got the attributes to back all that up. He's very good on the ball, good awareness. Pace is decent. Balance and stamina are decent. He's a player who, he's not explosive, but he's just really neat, very tidy player, and he's got good end product. But the fact they've made him a whole player, I'm really keen to pick this guy up because I've used mine in a bunch of positions, but with the whole player playing style, you put him in attacking midfield or SS, he's going to make some very good attacking runs and get into good positions. And he's got the ability to both score goals and create goals when he gets into those positions. And as a super sub especially, who can come on second half in pretty much any attacking position, I think this is a really good card, and this is one of the ones I'd like to get the most out of this pack. I think that's a great card. Then Pedro Porro. So Pedro Porro, we've had him in Player of the Week before. I think he was a cross specialist before. This one's an attacking fullback, and he is a very attacking fullback. So great pace, fantastic stamina. He's okay on the ball. Low pass isn't brilliant, but lofted pass 86. He's going to be good at crossing. You see in his skill set here, pinpoint crossing. They've also given him, I think, 3 skills. I see one touch pass, weighted pass might be new. He's got long range shooting, pinpoint crossing. He's got a lot of end product in terms of his skill set going forward. He's a very attacking player, but to be fair to him, looking down the bottom, man marking, interception, sliding tackle, he's got some good skills defensively as well. But they do only compensate for the fact that his defensive attributes are a bit on the low side. So this is very much an attacking fullback. If you like your fullbacks to be able to defend, he might be a bit of a risk for you. But if you like your fullbacks to be attacking fullbacks, he could be great. And he can play right midfield as well, with that crossing, like I say. But if you play wing backs, he could be perfect. I think he could be a brilliant wing back with the pace and stamina. I think he's a great wing back. But yeah, I think it just depends how you're going to use him, and how you play the game. If you like very attacking fullbacks or wing backs, I think he could be a great card to pick up. Then we have Lautaro Martínez, another version of Lautaro Martínez. Key difference with this one, box in the box. So slightly different play style to goal poacher. He's not just going to keep darting in behind the defence. He's going to be loitering around, looking to pick up clever positions and around the edge of the box, making slightly later runs, attacking runs. But he looks very good to me. You look at the attacking awareness and the finishing first, both 90, fantastic. Those are the 2 key stats. I never understand why they don't like to give this guy 80 plus for his technicals. I think he's good on the ball in real life. I think they've done him a disservice there, as they often do. Passing could be a bit better. Heading's decent at 82 and jumping at 84. I've always found with this guy that he's deceptively good at winning headers. Not just his heading when he actually wins the header, but winning the header in the first place. He will get on the end of some crosses. Not always, he's not the tallest, but he does seem to have the knack of getting his head onto crosses. He also has accurate finishing as well, so it could be decent from crosses. Long range shooting, first time shot, one touch pass compensates for the fact his low pass isn't great. And they're giving him super sub because he came off the bench and scored 4 times, which is ridiculous. So this is a super sub card. I think this is a really, really tidy player to pick up. Having him on your bench, bring 1 second half, getting into the box and coming up with finishes, headers, volleys, whatever kind of shot. Yeah, this is a really nifty little card. I'll be pretty pleased if I get this. And then the last one. I think this is the card that everyone's going to be excited about. Jude Bellingham, whole player. So that kind of changes the game a bit with Bellingham. He's already a great card to pick up, but as a whole player, looking at his attributes, good awareness. On the ball, he's great. I do feel like he deserves a bit more for his dribbling. It's a bit frustrating his dribbling's only 80, but it could be worse. 89 for low pass is fantastic. 81 finishing is good for an attacking midfielder. He's still got some half-decent defensives if you want to play him as a centre midfielder. Just keep in mind he's a whole player, so he's going to be getting forward a lot. He's going to be very... you're going to need 1 or 2 defensive midfielders doing the defensive work in the middle if you're going to play him centre mid. But yeah, I think he's best in attacking mid as a whole player. Pace is pretty good for an attacking midfielder. Physical contact and balance both over 80. That for me is key. That's going to make him so strong on the ball. There aren't many attacking midfielders who are 80 plus with both those attributes, so keep that in mind. I think that's fantastic. And then stamina 88 is good, very good, and that's important. Again, he's an attacking midfielder, so attacking midfielders do get tired fairly quickly, but also as a whole player especially, he's going to be running around a lot, so that stamina is very important. And when we look at his skill set, what they've given him is crucial. Through passing, so 1 touch pass and through passing, those are the important skills for an attacking midfielder, key skills. So that's fantastic. He's still got interception, fighting spirit. Like I say, with the defensive attributes, you could still get away with him as a centre midfielder. You just need to have at least 1 other midfielder who's playing behind him doing the defensive work. And he's got his dribbly skills as well there, so he's good in the ball, first time shot. This is just a fantastic card, and with that whole player playing style, I think a lot of people are going to be very excited to get him. That's certainly, I think, the best card in the pack. So yeah, another mixed bag, always is. I think there's some decent ones in there. Obviously, Bellingham, I think, is going to be most people's pick, but I think Oyarzabal looks like a really good one as well. So, yeah, an interesting selection. So, hopefully you found that useful. Thank you for watching, as always. I'll see you next time.